Hey, what's good guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today, I am super excited to talk about these things. These are what I consider a potential bad boy. I'm fucking excited. These things are sick. This is the Nike Zoom Rize. Now, before we get into these guys, I did want to give a quick shout out to everybody over at our WearTesters Discord community. They're the reason why this review is possible. They actually helped fund the channel. They're the reason why I was able to grab these things. So big thank you to everybody over there. They go above and beyond in terms of supporting. Actually, the Discord community is crazy. There's almost 100 members in there.
No.
Which is crazy in and of itself. But everybody's super chill. Everybody likes talking about stuff, and they like talking about like everything. Everything that I like, they like, except for football. I don't like football.
Just stay out of that conversation.
Yes, we have so many, they call them, what do they call them? Channels? There's like groups and then subgroups within the group. So it's like, there's shoes and then there's basketball, whatever, running. There's the on foot section. There's a cool little competition that we got every day where everybody's like, look what I got on my feet. I won the day that I wore the Reebok Answer 5s. I'm just saying. Nobody officially told me I won, but I'm pretty sure I won.
I told you won.
Did you?
Yeah. And then you guys made fun of me.
Why? What happened?
Because I took credit for the photo.
Of course you did. Because you're the least humble person I know. Did you say my name? Of course you did. Is it my birthday? Of course it is. But again, big thank you to everybody over at our WearTesters Discord community. If you wanted to join, click the link in the description box below. It'll send you over to WearTesters.com where you can read all about what it means to become a WearTesters Discord community member and how awesome we all are. It's just a joke.
Humble brag.
No, it was just a joke. Okay, that right there, that little piece of inflection was called sarcasm. Now, the Nike Zoom Rize is an interesting shoe because this is technically a takedown of an upcoming shoe called the Nike Alpha Dunk, which is supposed to replace the Nike Hyper Dunk. That's a lot of dunks. But these things are $140, which is expensive for the takedown. I was just kind of expecting something maybe $125, $130, but no, this is $140. So I'm very curious what the actual Alpha Dunk is going to retail for. I mean, the minimum in my mind is going to be like $160. Did you see the zoom in that? It's like the whole shoe, or at least the whole first half of it. It's nuts. If you could do that, bring back the Nike Viz Zoom Up Tempo. Come on, man. I need that shoe. I really do. But anyways, these guys right here feature 4-foot Zoom Air, and not just 4-foot Zoom Air, but it's a fucking huge one, man. Like, look at that thing.
That's what she said.
Although it is encased in rubber, and that's the thing that I'm curious about these and the Zoom Rize, or not the Zoom Rize, I'm already getting them.
Alpha Dunk.
Yeah, we're already confused here. But the Alpha Dunk, I'm just kind of wondering like how because this is stiff.
That's what she said.
Michael Scott, shout out to you, man. You're awesome. But these things are stiff right here, and a lot of the shoes nowadays are like kind of like moving away from that. Somebody actually said, I can't remember who it was, but they were on Twitter. That guy was saying like, oh, Nike does know the importance of 4-foot Zoom or whatever. Clearly he was being sarcastic as well, a little bit facetious and all that stuff, because a lot of the newer shoes, you know, like the Kyrie shoe, even though the Kyrie 5 does have Zoom in it, so does the Kyrie Low 2. I think he's mostly referring to the Zoom Freak one, Giannis's shoe, because it's lacking Zoom in the 4-foot. And I didn't reply to him, but this is my response to things like that, is that's called variety. Like, not every shoe is exactly what you want, because not every shoe is made for every single person. This shoe right here is a 4-foot heavy cushion shoe. It's made for people that want that. Some people don't. Some people want what's in the Kyries. Some people might, like Giannis, might want what is exactly in his shoe. And if you don't want it, you don't have to worry about it, because then there's stuff like this. But I want the Giannis shoe. I want the signature. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to say, dude. Like, they just don't make shoes exactly the way you want them. They make a variety of shoes so that there is something for everyone. But anyways, back to these guys. The 4-foot Zoom, just from a try-on, feels interesting. It feels stiff. I don't feel any bounce from it. However, the midsole, the foam itself, that's the thing that I feel, especially in the back. It feels really bouncy. So I don't know if it's Cushlon or if it's Injectifylon. The only tech specs that are available right now are on dicksportinggoods.com, which is where I actually bought these from. And they say that the shoe has a vulcanized midsole. I'm just like, I don't know where you got that from, but that is not right. There's nothing vulcanized about this. But anyways, I don't know which one it is. All I know is that the foam in here feels very good. There's nothing in the back, but it still feels very comfortable. And then the 4-foot Zoom Air, it actually says right there, you're not gonna be able to see this, but we're gonna try anyways. It says right there that it's 10 millimeters, and that's the thickness of the Zoom. And then it's 20 PSI, which is the amount of air that they put in there. Now, something that I do find interesting is this little V cut right there. That is an actual flex screw within the Zoom unit itself. At least that's what it looks like to me. But again, it's very like stiff and all that stuff because of this rubber thing that's encapsulating it. But the last shoe that I wore that had that much Zoom in the 4-foot was these guys right here. This is the Jordan Supreme Elevation. These things were an ankle roll waiting to happen. I tried, man, Trust me, dude, don't fuck with these. So yeah, I'm very excited for these things. I'm glad that they did what they did because it makes that amount of zoom possible in the forefoot area. Again, it just makes me even more curious about the Alpha Dunk. I can't wait to get those in hand and on foot just to see how it works. Our last video was on these guys right here, and I'm wearing the same shirt because it's the same day. Behind the scenes, BTS. This stuff right here, man, this is what Nike's good at, dude. They put, in this case, the same okay, and in this case, new but either way, you want to try it out. That's what will sell shoes, is people going in store and putting shoes on their feet. Now the outsole looks awesome. The traction looks amazing. Even though it's a mixture between translucent and solid rubber, I'm not going to be worried about it because the pattern itself looks great. It reminds me a lot of the Zoom Soldier 12, great traction. And the thing that I like the most about it is that it's very firm rubber and all that stuff. And there's so much rubber encased around the Zoom Air unit that this should be a viable option for outdoor hoopers. So that is a plus, especially once shoes like this, because this is a team shoe. So once it starts hitting outlets, you'll be able to grab these like 79 or less, especially on days when they have that friends and family 30% off. These are gonna be a steal. Now the upper on these guys, very basic, very cheap looking, very cheap feeling. It's just a textile, it's an open aired mesh and all that stuff. It almost looks like a knit, but it's not. They're saving the knit for the Alpha Dunk. That's supposed to be what they call air knit. And this just looks like mesh, so I'm gonna call this air mesh. I'm my own marketing guy. Now, one of the things that I like that's like an aesthetic feature is the nylon cable right here for the lacing system. It reminds me a lot of the lockdown wings from the LeBron 9s. If you guys have been watching us for that long, been a minute, like I'm really old. It's okay though. The legs are still kind of working. But what I like is that the arrows right there really show you the function of this like lace area and stuff. This is supposed to draw you right into the back of the heel. That's what real ankle support is. That's what lockdown's all about. That's keeping this area safe and secure and onto the footbed. Hopefully it works because this material, like I was saying, is pretty cheap. So for all I know, it just won't hold, but I don't know yet. I'll find out once I start playing in them. And then the rear section is just a synthetic leather. Like it doesn't feel like leather. It doesn't feel like nubuck or suede or anything like that. It's kind of like plasticky and all that stuff. So I'm gonna call it vinyl. Again, the material is very cheap, but what they did spend all of their money on was clearly the cushioning system and the rubber. The rubber feels great. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, I went true to size. That's what I would recommend. They do fit perfectly for me. However, they are a little bit on the snug side. For wide footers, I would definitely recommend trying them on just in case because they do feel a little bit slim. This is, again, one of the things I'm kind of like, how is this going to play into the Alpha Dunk? Is this going to be a better fitting shoe? Is the Alpha Dunk going to be better fitting, more wide foot friendly? Is the knit going to be more stretchy than this cheap mesh? I don't know. But anyways, that pretty much takes care of it for just a quick look, initial impression, my pure excitement hopefully didn't bleed through the screen too much, and I hope it didn't like penetrate you and all that stuff with my weirdness about sneakers and tech, but I do really like this, so I'm into it.
That's what she said.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support, and until next time, guys, have a good one. These guys look massive.
Okay, so that's my comment, is compared to all your other shoes, these feel like they're definitely made for like a big heavy
dude.
guy.
This reminds me, you probably don't remember the shoe because it is a long time ago, but it was called the Max Hyper Posit. That's kind of what these remind me of in hand, like the bulk of them, which is strange to say because the upper is so nothing, but there's a lot of padding in here, a lot of sculpting. There's kind of like an internal like sleeve booty that's pretty padded and all that stuff. It's connected to the tongue, and then it's got that, you know, shell around it, which is the air mesh and all of that stuff. I think that's a good name.
Air mesh?
Yes. Especially for Nike. But it's the tooling. The tooling's super thick and chunky.
Yes.
So like you rise off the floor like a lot. I mean, we're talking 10 millimeters just with the Zoom itself. So you're 10 millimeters off the floor in the forefoot alone, plus whatever the midsole stack height is on top of that, which is probably in the forefoot, I'd say at least another 2 millimeters.
I was expecting this to be jelly-like, and
no,
it's not.
It's pretty hard.
So I'm wondering how...
It's gonna move? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like not flexible, even though it's like it's still rubber, so it'll move, but because it wraps up here and it's attached, it's not like what they do with the Adidas stuff where there's a panel, then a panel. So it has some give to it. This is not like that. This is all one, so it's gonna be more restrictive and probably will take a lot of time to break these in. But at the same time, it could be worth it for those looking for max cushion in the forefoot. But again, that's where that Alpha Dunk thing comes in, where it's like, you're almost like competing with yourself at this point.
Right.
So I don't really quite understand that, like at all actually. Like when I think about it, I'm like, okay, so there's two shoes that look almost damn near identical. Tech specs are damn near the same as well. They're just varied by a few millimeters and length. That's what she said? No? No? Okay, sorry.
That one took me a second.
So it's just one of those things where I'm kind of like, why not just have one? Especially because these are not very flexible in the front, and you know that those aren't going to be either. because they go all the way to the front, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be encased in everything.
Is it on both sides? I can't remember.
It's not visible on both sides, no. So which will also restrict the movement and the feeling. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit weird. I've always thought it was strange that like Nike has so much product.
Maybe it was one of those things where they're like, all right, you guys are on this team, you guys are on this team, give me your best. And
well, the thing is that that's kind of the layout for retail. So these will go to Dick's, which is where we bought them from. Big box retailer. You might even see something like this at a Famous Footwear. I don't know if you will, because this is a little bit more expensive than a lot of the shoes there. Probably see these at the team retailers, like an East Bay Champs. And then the Alpha Dunk is what you're going to see at the premium.
at Foot Locker.
At Foot Locker, House of Hoops, and the Nike stores.
So they're hitting all of their demographics.
You want them to see the tech. That's check 1. Check 2, try it on, fall in love. That's what happened, man. That's what happened with me.